Hey everyone, welcome to this Ruined Hab Block build tutorial. This tutorial will take you right the way through the build process. So from reviewing the templates right the way up to building your Hab Block, to accessorizing it, and then obviously breaking it down and creating the ruins that you can see in the pictures. Okay, so before we start, first of all we need to make sure we've got PVA glue, and you need to make sure we've got a couple of brushes, one to apply the PVA glue and one to take any excess off. You also need a sharp object just to help pluck the parts out of the templates. There's one provided in the kit, but you might find it a lot easier if you improvise and use something like a small file or something like that. Okay, if you feel ready, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the templates. We'll start with the first template. We're just going to pluck it out. This should be quite easy to do, they're just tagged on, so simple pushing out should be enough to release the parts. You shouldn't need any knife or anything like that. And they're just the joints to help join the corners up. Give you a nice square. Okay, so we're going to start with the base first. This is the bottom part of the Hab Block. Okay, here we're just showing you how the cracks on the side will match the cracks on the floor. Same as this side. Nothing on that side. Nothing on that side. Okay, these are, every part has a little symbol on it, and the symbol matches the connections. So all you simply do is you'll just glue the corresponding connections together. Don't worry about how much PVA glue you use. Best to have more than less. And anything that comes out over, you can just brush off with a brush. Now we tend to do the long sides first and put the parts in the long sides. It just makes it easy when you assemble it together. Again, we're just seeing the symbols on the sides just to see where they match. Just checking the symbols again. Might do that a few more times. I'll check the symbols again. Never know, might get them wrong. Again, we're not worried about how much glue we're using. And just double checking them symbols. Well done. All that, good job. Making sure the parts are in there nice and securely. This is just the second brush we've got, just to wipe any excess PVA glue off. And we'll put them to the side. I think that's so we can let them dry. No way, it is because we want them to dry. And nice and neat, and ready for the next stage. Okay, so in this part we're just going to put the main Hab Block together. So we're looking for the other two sides, which are on the other template. These are the narrow end. Cool, just got to make sure this is in the right place, haven't we? Yep, two sides and two long sides. Okay, we're just running the glue in the inside edges. and on the sides that's just where the hab block's going to fit. The cracks that you can see on the other side, if you choose to, you can PVA glue them at this stage. That will help keep them in place, makes it harder to break up, but we keep them open. We don't, at the minute, we are making it purely like we would build a hab block. So we're not breaking anything out yet, we just like to build the structure. So with MDF, obviously it's one way facing, so you want the detail to face outwards where you have the laser cut burns. You can see I'm struggling to work things out. And Andy, you can do it. See, look at that. What a plonker, chose the wrong end. It's because I want to get the cracks to match up. So it could have taken the other end, but obviously because we're going to break this up later on, we want the cracks to match up. We're still deciding what we want to do with the cracks. See, it's not always that easy. Yeah, we've decided, yeah. Well done, okay, cool. We'll move on, we'll carry on sticking. Good old PVA glue. Now obviously PVA glue doesn't dry straight away, but it's if you put enough of it on, it can hold quite well. That's good, lad. We obviously gluing them upside down is a lot easier because obviously the top edges are flat. Again, at this stage, don't really worry about the glue. Put plenty of it on it. It will help with the build. He's a whiz, isn't he? Oh, look at that, carefree. Yeah, look at that, 4 sides together. Okay, so at this stage it is quite loose. It's being held together purely and simply because of the amount of PVA glue that's on there. PVA glue doesn't take long to dry. Again, we're putting plenty of glue. Now this is the bottom. So when you're putting the floor panel or the base on, just to make sure the base faces down, you want the detail to face into the hab block. Again, plenty of glue. Yeah. Oh, it's just showing you the way the cracks match up, so you just got to make sure the cracks meet the cracks on your hab block. So, and obviously it's face down. Again, just showing how the cracks match up. Wiping off any excess glue. So yeah, use your hands. It's got to be healthy. Look at that, stay together. And now, obviously, we're using the other brush just to wipe away the excess. And you see, this is done in real time, so the glue's not dry yet, but because there's been plenty of glue, it holds together quite nicely. Okay, so that's it complete. Well, I say complete, just the hab block's complete, the main structure. Let's go back onto the things that we built earlier. They should be now solid and ready for the next stage. This is a platform or a base of the hab block. They're both the same. We're just making sure, obviously, the cracks again match, and we're making sure the symbols match up for the joints. So again, we're just going to test that with the hab block. Yeah, like the crack there, dear. Yeah. Yeah, still working that out. It's been far too thicky, but I think we're nearly there. Yeah, it likes that. Okay, cool. Okay, then again, plenty of glue. Not worried. Yeah, let's make sure we get it all over there. Go on. Oh, got to plug that hole out. Obviously the holes are what we call the hole network, and basically it's just a whole group of holes, and they're all the same distance apart, so all accessories can fit into them, so it allows you to do what you want with them. Again, going back, we're just obviously at this stage making the base for the hab block to fit in. Again, it builds exactly the same as a hab block, so the instructions are pretty much the same, just obviously matching up the cracks. It's the hardest bit about doing your Ruined Hab Block. Looks like Andy's doing it well. Only if you had 4 hands it'd be alright. Yeah, it's going together quite nicely. So it's just making sure obviously they're pushed in properly, give it a nice fixing. And then again, we're just wiping away any excess PVA glue. Okay, now we've done that, we're just going to leave that, put it aside to dry. We love letting things dry, it's great. You'll find your own way of building them if you make a lot of them. You don't always have to do it this way. You know, the drying time, you don't always have to let things dry because PVA glue. So actually we're now on the next template. So this is us now making it. Oh, we've broken it. Oh dear. Not a problem. If anything breaks like that, you got to remember it's designed to break like that. So again, a little bit of PVA glue will help fix that. And no doubt you're probably going to break that in the breaking up phase anyway. So we're not too worried about it. It's wood and then MDF is fine and PVA glue is brilliant with it. So, oh look, it's just worked out. Oh look at that, these could have went together. I think he heard me. So yeah, we'll probably have to leave that to dry. Still not a big issue. We're going to leave it over there to dry, look. Can we still carry on with this base? Oh, drink of tea. That's my Mephiston cup, by the way. Love Blood Angels. Okay, joining up the cracks again, just like previously. Let's just show you where the 2 cracks are. Again, you can see on this one we're just going over the cracks with the PVA glue just to help it out a little bit. I'm just obviously showing you where we're going to break that because we've already broken it. Okay, nicely laid out, look at that, nice and neat. Let's go to the next stage. So, did I leave it to dry? We shall see. You can see we're just plucking out some holes here. We're obviously not using a sharp object, like we said at the beginning. Taking out the joints again just to make sure we can obviously fit them in the corners. Again, just looking for the symbols so the symbols match. Remember, we did a lot of checking last time. I imagine we're going to do a lot of checking this time too. And again, we're doing the long edge. Oh my god, I picked it up. It didn't break. Clearly we must have left it for a little while to dry. When that little cut was back then. Again, plenty of glue, matching up the symbols. It's all you need to do in the corners. And again, we always start with the long edges. And when we've done our long edges, we generally will let them dry and then move on to the next part. There's always something else to do, so when you're drying, when parts are drying, there's always something else that you can go and do or move on to. There should never be a point where you're waiting for lots of things to dry. it's important that them joints go in there properly, because obviously they're the basis of creating the 90-degree angles when you fix them together. Now, are we going to be brave enough and connect the two ends together straight away? Especially after I've now said let it dry. We're going for it. See, there's no letting anything dry in this game. Again, plenty of glue. Lots of glue, look at that, and it's worked. It's all good. Final end piece. Oh, it's a bit tricky, look at the angles. Again, you can see we're not caring about how much glue we use. Might be because we've made lots of them. Now, good trick is, we're obviously now going to leave this dry, aren't we? We're not brave enough to keep carrying on. At this stage, you can put an elastic band around it, which we found can be quite helpful, but again, it's not really needed. We find building it like this and leaving it to dry is ample, good enough. Just making sure that it's all pressed in, create them nice 90-degree corners. And it looks like we are going to glue the lids in. Now, with the Hab blocks, you don't necessarily need to glue these bits in, because you can get access to Hab blocks when you make a normal Hab block. Because we're doing Ruined Hab blocks and we're going to be breaking these things apart, we always advise that you'll glue them in. We're just here matching up the cracks with the base. And it's just important for when we break them apart. So we glue them in because it adds strength to the structure. Because when you break them apart, you do break them apart quite a lot. You see at this stage also we've got all the sides in and all the parts of the side, so it creates a nice high base. They'll be taken out later on and we'll use them to accessorize the Hab block. Just showing you here where the sides, the cracks match up, because that's where we'll be breaking them along when it's dry. And look at that, just keep making sure they're all lined up and straight and neat. Tidy up the workplace, that's right. Okay, now that's being left to dry, we'll just grab the other two pieces. Obviously these are the parts that we made earlier, they should be perfectly dry now. We're just looking at lining them up, just making sure it's fitted properly and also making sure the cracks line up with each other. Worst thing is you don't want to glue this down and then find out later on that the cracks don't line up. So we'll do that, we're just making sure it's right, and then obviously we'll glue the supports and then place Hab block on top of that. Again, like everything else, don't be worried about PVA glue. It's not a big issue. We do add ample PVA glue. You can also see here we're just taking out the sides. We generally do that on most of the Hab blocks that we build. We just prefer the look once the main Hab block sits in it, and also the parts that we've just taken out really make nice accessories later on in the build. They are great to accessorize. Again, we're just making sure the cracks are lined up, not that we did that before. Yeah, it's gone in there nice and neat. I'm going to point and show you how the cracks line up. It's good. We've done it right. Look at that. Well done. Okay, we're on the final part of the build. As you can see now, the top is now dried, and we're just going to take the infills out again, and we'll keep them for accessories like we mentioned just a minute ago. You can see here just an example of what we may do with them, or what you could do with them. We won't do that yet, but we've done that previously on other Hab block builds. So there you go, that's the Hab block built, secured in there. And that's the main part of the build. Oh yeah, let's tidy up the workspace again. Okay, as you can see here, we've just taken the roof off. This could be a roof, first floor. We're just showing you here with the additional parts that you get with the Ruined Hab Block. You don't get this with the normal Hab Block, but you do with the Ruined Hab Block. Again, it's we're just planning out how we're gonna set these up. So this is on the roof part of the Hab Block. Equally, if you don't have on the roof, it places quite nicely as the ruins as a second, on the floor, can be placed on the ground floor, and then you can match up the door frames, so you get two parts of ruins. So again, we're just gonna look at how we fit this in. We've already matched it up with the lines, and you see the base of this one breaks differently to the base of the one, so it's just showing you again where we want to have the lines. We're still thinking about it. We're umming and ahhing, is this a good idea? Clearly you won't have to watch all of this bit where we're deciding lots. Again, I think we're just trying to marry up the cracks, looking at where we want to place it. And you can see here we've kind of decided what we want to do with it, so we're now breaking the Hab Block apart to create these ruins that will either create the next level or ground floor level of the Hab Blocks. And you can see, quite easy to do. You see there's quite a lot of different ways to do this, so you're not tied into one specific way. Clearly it's got me stumped. Hopefully when you do yours you might be able to decide a little bit quicker. Looks like we've now decided, so it's quite easy to break along the lines, as you can see. It's very confusing for me, look. I think we get it at some point. Again, mostly with the Hab Block, the Ruined Hab Block, this is what a lot of the time goes into, is deciding how you want to break them up. The more you do, the easier it gets. And this whole deciding where to break it is what makes the Hab Blocks all individual and different, which is why you get such a variety in the different types of Ruined Hab Blocks that you can build. I think we're nearly there. Okay, so like we're going to do that. There you go, we're gluing it, we're committing ourselves. And again, with the PVA glue, we don't have to worry too much about how much we use. We're just gluing the bottom so it fixes in nicely. Do the same with these corners. You see, actually building it doesn't take too much time. It's obviously the deciding that takes a little bit of time. But like I said, the more you do, the quicker it becomes. We like to keep the ruins and try and keep the corners If you can try and keep the corners, it just helps with the supporting, and also when you add additional levels and things like that, it's quite nice to have the corners there. Obviously, depending on how you build your ruins, you might have 6 or 7 ruins with the corners in, so if you've got 2 or 3 without corners, it's not a big issue. And again, we're just taking off the excess PVA glue. And that was the second level. We're just taking out the insert, so we've obviously decided that's where we're going to put a doorway. Okay, on this bit we're just now going to accessorize the Hab block, so you don't really need to watch this part of the video. We're putting little tabs in the links below so you can fast forward to different sections. This part is all about accessorizing the Hab block, so you're going to see them go from the standard Hab blocks that we've just seen, that we've built, to pretty plain, to now accessorizing them up. So you can see firstly on here we are taking out the door frames. There's 4 door frames on this pack that we have, so we can choose either to add 1 or 2 doorways in, or we can have all 4 doors in. Door frames are great because the door frames add a bit of support to your Hab block. Help strengthen the framework up, so they're quite nice to put in, and obviously they're great points to tab additional Hab blocks onto. That's where the magnets go, and that's obviously where Hab blocks join and fix to. Additional Hab blocks join and fix to. So here we've decided we're going to put a frame here, and again we're not worried about the PVA glue, we're using whatever we need, just quite a lot. We do go through a lot of glue, but look, we clear it up, so it's all fab, it's all fine. Obviously now we're going to decide what we're going to use. We've got 3 more door frames left, and we're just working out where we're going to put them. I think it's more to do with thinking how we're going to break it up to add the door frames in. Like I said, you don't need to use all of the 3 that are left. We can use less. You can see here we've decided to break the Hab block. Now we're breaking the Hab block up in this video, which is fine, but what you'll see, there's another video about how easy it is to break these down. It will take you from the main Hab block right the way down to little parts of ruins, but that's a different video. On this one we're obviously deciding how we're breaking it down. Be handy if we could see the Hab block, wouldn't it? It's not too easy, it's not too difficult, sorry, to pull all these parts out. They just crack along the lines. Sometimes if you've used a lot of PVA glue, then they can be a little bit tougher, but they are pretty simple. So you can see here what we're adding is you can see the part there that we're adding. These are great. What they do is when you start breaking the Hab block down, obviously you lose the support from the corners. So them little parts we just showed you are great. You just use the whole network, stick them in one of the holes, glue them, and it will fix the base back to how you really need it, keeping it nice and secure. See, we've put a couple in here, mainly where we've just ripped off the corner of the Hab block, which was perfectly fine. That's what we planned. Remember, we're using the lines. So we haven't started accessorizing it yet, but it looks pretty cool. First broken part. That's just showing you, obviously you don't need to put it back there, it's a spare ruin, so it will fit on Hab block because it follows the same style. So it's just showing you that you can create a second level. You don't have to, you could glue it onto that Hab block on the bottom. So again here we're just putting one of them supports in. Also you see it's putting the supports in where the round holes are. The round holes are where the magnets would go. So it's great because it gives you a little bit of backing for the magnets if you choose to use the magnets. Again, you see here we're just going to put a door frame on, even though there's barely a door there. But again, it adds some strength to the structure. We're just making sure we apply the glue where we know the door frame's going to fix on the Hab block. And again, just wiping away any excess PVA. You get quite a lot of accessories with the Ruined Hab block, so you don't have to use them all. There's just lots of different things that you can. If you want some ideas, if you visit the Facebook page, we've got some albums with Hab blocks and different variations of Hab blocks in. It can be quite helpful, give you some ideas. As you can see, because we have to decide on stuff, it takes a little longer. So we're obviously breaking this ruin down a bit more. Again, just some nice subtle push and pulling along the crack will allow part just to fall out. Well, I say fall out, pluck out. We're now going to some of the accessories on the sprue. Learning curve for next time is to make sure that whatever we're doing is in the center of the camera. That is annoying. I think here we're taking out some accessory parts. Oh, there they go, look at that. We've worked it out. Again, they're just plucking out. We're obviously using the correct tool that we said at the beginning of the video. Not. But they are quite easy to pluck out, so. It's great that we're taking them all out, isn't it? I would speed this up, but we don't want to miss anything important, like taking the accessories out. Are we taking them all out? We are going to. So this is a whole accessory section, so every bit of that's just been plucked out, except for these parts now. The parts that are being plucked out now are supports, but everything else up till then are accessories, so you don't have to use them. They're there just to help you create a look or a style. We're now just plucking the holes out. We're using the correct tool, the one that's supplied in the kit. Just plucked out the hole, so that's part of the whole network. So these are a set of holes, they're all at the same distance, all at the same sort of length, so any accessory is designed to fit in any of our systems. So you'll find that the Hab block stuff will cross over, so you'll end up having a lot of spare parts. We recommend just keeping them, put them in a bits box, because the more stuff you buy, the more accessories you'll have, the more spare parts you have, and it just helps accessorize any of the stuff up that you get from us. So obviously we've chosen this like bar look, so once you paint the Hab block, quite good because it makes it look a bit more like a container, like ridges. Again, some people do paint these up before before they add the accessories, and then we'll paint the accessories different colour. You see we're applying some PVA glue on the back. Again, it's not really necessary, but it just helps support. So again here we're just going to copy the same style at the other end, just by putting that standard accessory. Oh, we've used a different accessory part. I'm not very good when we change it up. I'm just going to take the window out. And with the Hab blocks, you'll see that they've got a frame around them as well. So you can have the inside window out if you want. You can also take the frame out if you like. Again, just gives you a different look and a different style. Again, we've just been adding a little bit of PVA glue, clearing it off on the front and adding a little bit on the back. So, are we going to pluck out the windows here? Yeah, we are. Pluck them all out. There's a couple of cracks that we just wanted to remove by the looks of it. Again, we're just going to unplug some of the holes. Might choose what part is going to go in there this time. So these are quite cool. They've got a little cut, so they're almost like window frames, and then you can apply. So that's one of the accessories, one of the spare parts that we could have chucked away earlier on, but they're from off the base. So they look quite cool when you've got quite a few of them on there. I'll show you how another accessory will just plug on there and the different look you'll get. It's like a guessing game which one we will go for. I think we're just trying to show you the different styles that you can do on the Hab Block. Just give you a few extra ideas. Again, it's another different part that's been put on there. You don't even need to have the window frames on there if you do want them. I think for this example that we'll keep them. Again, that's the accessory we was going to throw away, just turn around the other way. And there's another one of the parts that we were going to take away, so you can see nice window ledge it will create. Top, which is quite a nice feature. We've done that a few times. So are we gonna go for the window ledge look? Okay, just the windows. So then they fit in quite easily. Once the holes have been plugged out, they fit in quite easily. And again, you just PVA gluing it in. Now we could leave it like that, but we've got a multitude of accessories as we showed you before that we can put on there just to make it look a little bit better. I don't know which one I'm going to choose. Exciting stuff. Which one are we going for? Oh, that one. Now again, with these, they don't have to go that way around, they can flip up the other way around. Just slightly different look. Looks like we probably just pushed that out a little bit too much. Again, it doesn't matter if anything like that happens. PVA glue's like magic with MDF. ideal world, obviously, you'd let these dry a little bit, move on to something else, but because you've got so much that you can accessorize, it's easy to leave stuff to dry and then move on to something different. I'm not sure that's what we're going to do. Just going to tidy that up. It looks like that side might be done. Again, we're always quite keen to put glue on our hands. So that's two sides done quite nicely. Got this back side that we're now going to do. Again, it'll probably take us a while to decide if we're going to do anything with that at all. We made a move on it quite quickly. Looks like we're going to break it. So we've obviously selected that we're going to break it a little bit down, a little bit more. We've obviously got an idea of what we're going to do to this. We've moved a lot quicker than the others. Go for the same style and imagine that we've put around the sides just to help it match in. No, we didn't need to do that, did we? The plonker. Don't worry, we can clean it off. Our razor brush. Okay, door frame, good idea. Never actually kept any of the doors when we've done our Ruined Hab blocks. We've always chucked the doors away. And I reckon we'll probably do the same here. Oh, look at that, it came out easy. Again, that door frame will also help keep the two sides, each side of that together. Brave doing that, considering we've only just glued it. So, are we done with that? That looks pretty good. Okay, looks like we've accessorized it up, are we? So we're showing you there that obviously because the corners come out, it's not stable. So that part that you've just seen, really important. Really, really helpful. You can't see what's happening there, but there you go. It basically goes under your hab block. So when you start pulling it apart, your hab block will become unstable and it won't sit flat on the table. Then parts we just showed you fit perfectly underneath and level your hab block up, so you can always keep it stable. So we're going on to the second, that part that we broke off earlier. We want to use it, so we're just showing you here. If we put the door frame on it, we could match these two door frames up and it could become part of the ruin on the first floor. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it at this stage. We're definitely going to put the door frame in though. So we're carefully taking this out. And again, once we add that frame, it will just stiffen that structure up a little bit and give it a little bit more support. Okay, we're not very good at working in the middle of the screen, are we? We've only put a door frame on, we've done that thousands of times before. Again, taking off any excess PVA. There you go, just showing you how that came out. Now, that you can't really obviously magnetise it because we've taken the magnetising hold, we're just putting another stabilising part in it. Again, so what you could do with that is you could glue them doors together to keep it nice and fixed. Or look, we're deciding. I can see tapping my finger, that means I'm thinking. Look at that. We're going to put some accessories in it. So I would imagine at this point we're deciding whether we're going to match them in with what we've just done on the other Hab Block, the ruin that's just sat there with it. Okay, so I'd pretty much fast forward this bit on. It's just me tidying up the workspace. It does look impressive. Look at them hands. And we're throwing bits away. These bits are quite cool actually for any rubble, any of the squares that come out. Just again, keep them in a pile, keep them in a bits box, because they will make some great rubble. The more stuff you get, the more rubble you get, the more accessories you get. It's all good. Anyway, I could keep talking through this, but my advice is fast forward it to the end of this bit so you can see how neatly them piles of accessories are. Go look, nice little piles of accessories. How neat is that? Safe working space, that's what it is. Okay, we're going to go on to the next bit in a minute. I think it's going to be a few more seconds. But the next part is all about destroying your Hab blocks even more. So now we're going to take the Hab blocks and we are going to, now they've been accessorized, we're now just going to bash them up a bit. You see we've just done the accessorizing rather than put you through the whole video of accessorizing. Oh, we're going to snap it. Look at that. Again, if something breaks out and you don't want it to, feel free to, again, just put some PVA glue on it. It works and fits perfectly fine. We're now just going to mess about with how we want to place these ruins. So there's a few little tricks in this part. I'll show you how we fix them. And how we add the additional accessorising using the parts that normally would be chucked away, or sometimes we chuck away. That's my arm, just in case you want to see that. Again, it's important to obviously just have an idea of what you want to do. We could leave it like that, we could base them up and leave the train like that and just, you know, glue doors. We can see we've put a doorstep on that Hab block just there. Now you can see this is one of the parts that was on the side that we pulled out before, so not an official accessory, but much used quite a lot in this build. So you can see where we've put it. We just turn that over again, you'll just see, there you go, we're just showing you, we put it 3 mil from the edge, so we basically use a bit of spare, you might see us do it now, there you go, spare MDF to put up against the side, and then we're just going to glue one of these, and they look good for broken beams that have come out that hold the floorboards up. And also the second thing that we use them for here, so we put them 3mm away. We've used that spacer to put them 3mm away. So what happens is when it dries, it will help give you a nice firm fit when you place it on top of the Hab Block. Again, we're just looking to see if we like that. And we're just working out what we want to do with them. We're still breaking it down, which isn't a problem. We can keep doing it. We keep doing it all the way through. Again, if there's anything that we don't like, we can take off. If there's anything else we want to add, a little bit more support, we can do that. So here you can see we are plucking out a couple of holes using the hole network. We're going to add a part in there. Don't know which one yet. So they're the two little support parts. The reason why we've done this is so we can glue it back on to the base. Let's see what we're going to do with that in a minute. There you go. And it's basically to give us the ledge back, or the edge back. And again, we're putting one of the risers on it. That's the bit that sits underneath to keep it level. Again, plenty of PVA glue. We send that all the way through this, and then we'll put the support back on there. Again, that's just the side that we had break off earlier. Again, we're just going to add some of these throwaway parts, and we're going to use them for the floor joists again. It's quite a cool little effect, really. And again, we're putting them 3mm away. We don't have to put the spacer in because we put them parts in. Them supports, they're 3mm. They poke out 3mm anyway, so it gives us a natural gap. So there we can see we've got a floor joist, and we've got it 3mm away. So when it goes on there, that will fit on there nice and tight. Okay. Let's just look at the Hab Block that's down. Look, moves it. Now we're gluing that, because obviously we might need a little bit of edging on there, because it clearly wasn't glued on there earlier on, so it might be a bit loose. Again, we're gluing the back of the door. We just want that to stay in, so once it's dry, it'll be fixed in there. Again, that's normally where the door frame would go. Putting the edge back. That's what you'd normally take out if you put the door frame on, but we're obviously gluing that back in just to make sure we've got that support back. Again, tidying up any excess glue. So we've done that. Tighten up again, look. So we're going to carry on accessorising this up and just adding them floor joists in. Again, the more stuff you buy, the more accessories you have, and the more stuff you'll have in your bits box. It's hard to say, isn't it? Again, these are just them side parts that used to flow away. issues talking. We've put the little spacer in there, you can see that, just to make sure we've got that 3mm away. We're now trying to take that spacer out. Okay, there we have. Obviously all the MDF is 3mm, so these are just parts just to give us the 3mm spacing. Again, you don't have to do this. We just found that whilst we were building it, it just worked very nicely. It kept the hab blocks nice and secure. Just found it very handy. We could let it dry. Clearly I'm just too impatient. Again, we're going to put some supports in that underneath just to make it sit level. Again, they've just used the whole network, they fit in there perfectly fine. And that is almost a standalone piece. Again, we're just going to add some more floor joists. First of all, that 3mm one. Again, remember, you don't have to do this. This is just fully kitting this out as much as we can. I know when we first started making the Ruined Hab blocks, we definitely didn't do it then. But like everything, the more you build, the more you'll find out things, the more you'll try different stuff out. And these have been painted up now, so once they're painted out, they're really nice tight fits. So again, you don't have to glue them on top of each other, you can just slot them on top. They work, which means you can change your ruins about constantly, so you'll get different look and a different feel for each of your tabletops. One time you can have lots of high ruins, another time you might have a lot more of them scattered about at lower levels. Again, with the space, and I think we're just making them look even. Obviously, once you get the gist of this, fast forward it. Like claws on a hand. Again, we're just taking out the holes by the looks of it. Nicely done. If you're wearing the squares that are there, generally we'll take them out because they become hatches. So we just add a few little parts onto them and then they'll slot back on. And then we'll just use them as hatches. A couple of spaces in there because we want that to be 3mm away. Again, the reason why it's 3mm away is because it helps these parts slot over any other hab blocks. We're very good at taking the excess glue off, aren't we? Yeah, just checking it over. I'm going to put another support in. No, it's all good. Okay, so we'll continue to go through these and just accessorize them up. So that is mostly going to involve us just putting the floor joists in. So that's what we've got left from the kit. And again, looks like we're just going to put the spacer in again. So make that sure that's 3mm away. I think we're going to we're just taking the holes out. Let the little tiny support one in again. Again, that's because we might use the magnets, and again they fit behind the round holes of the magnets. Just more floor joists. They just add a really nice effect, and there's enough in the kit once you've taken them out of the platforms or the roofs. There's enough there to do this whole kit. Don't throw anything away. I think we just keep going through this now, and again we're just looking at where we can put additional supports, additional detail, any more accessorizing. See there, just put the hatch in. That hatch in. Now you might find what we're going to do with this. Again, we're going to use. So this is another insert from the door frames that we're now using to create. Just got to balance that there, right? Again, just making sure that the supports are on there. Again, they're 3mm away. They're just really nice for helping you have a nice secure fit when you start stacking these up. They're not essential, you don't have to do them. You can glue that part, any part of the Hab blocks together. If you wanted to create them second levels or third levels, you can glue them if you want. The choice is yours. We just like ours to be as flexible as we can because we do a lot of we rearrange them a lot. So we've still got some accessories there. You can see we've got, the ladder still. We've still got a couple more floor supports or stabilizers, whatever you want to call them. And again, I think we're just going around creating the edging for all of these. One day we'll work out that the camera's not up there. That's it. Put the spacer in there, you can see. We'll take them out, and that's 3mm. It's a nice, and again, like I keep saying, you don't have to have these in there. It just helps give you nice secure fits. We're just checking them out just to make sure we've got them on there. I think we're just going to tidy up our workspace again, throw some bits away. We're not throwing them away, they're going in a pile that we'll probably then use for rubble. We have a lot of it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the parts. We're just going to show them. They all should have now glued and dried. So we'll see there's the main Hab Block that we have accessorized up. Just taking out. Okay, just showing you the underneath. So we took out the hatch. And again, you see the supports are fitting there. We've got the spacers there, so it'll fit nicely on top of another Hab Block. You see, it's easy just to keep adding these details, and we've got, from that one single Ruined Hab Block, we've got quite a lot of parts that we can either use on separate train pieces, or we can, as we're going to show you here, we can stack them. And again, you know, feel free to obviously glue them. You put them how you want to. So you can see here how that goes on. Remember, they've got them supports on there. They've got the things to keep them nice and tight on the edge. And you see how very quickly we can just stack these up to create some really nice, effective ruins. See where we put the ladder on the side there? And you know, that fits all right. And we've still got a couple more spares. So you can see it's nice and rigid going on there, again because of these spaces that we've got underneath that just help keep it nice and tight. Again, if you've got something that little on the edge with not a lot to grip onto, definitely worth gluing that if you like and want that style on your Hab Block, or that kind of look on your Hab Block. So again, you can see we've got a few more spare pieces that we can still use. On here you can see obviously there's a lot you can do with it. There's a lot of different styles you can do it. There's so many different versions that you can create of that Ruined Hab Block. You can have them stacked, not stacked, you can have them laid out, but you get quite a lot in that one standard Ruined Hab Block. So that was a long build video. I know it was long. I felt it needed to be quite long because the Hab Block is, especially the Ruined Hab Block, is so versatile. There's so much you can do with it. There's so many accessories. There's so many ways you can break it. I just felt it needed to be that in depth, just to give you a better overview of what you can accomplish with this terrain. Anyway, we hope you got something out of this build video, and hopefully we'll catch you in another one. Thank you.